It'd be immoral for the board to impose anyone's will on an individual or family. Every family should be free to make the choice that they believe is best for them. Secondly, it's immoral because it limits individuality. Everybody's face is unique to them, and it's a distinct part of their personality and identity. To cover the face is to cover a portion of one's individuality. Hiding the faces of our children will have long-term developmental repercussions that will only manifest themselves years later. Children first learn to express fear, anxiety, joy, happiness, confusion, and other emotions through their faces. They learn to read that same emotion through the face of their teachers. And if their teacher's face is hid from them or theirs from the teacher, it creates confusion in the classroom setting. Certainly, it will dramatically hinder their ability to make strong emotional and social connections in life. Faceless people may make for compliant subjects, but they'll never make for good citizens. It's immoral, lastly, because it's unconstitutionally illegal. Our elected officials are here to use their office to uphold the highest.
Oh, yeah. Go get him. Quick.
Hello, hear me? Hello, Dr. Cook and board members. Thank you for accommodating the community with this beautiful, large room here. Earlier today, I sent the board a note. It said, please bring specific data to tonight's board meeting, specific scientific data that necessitates Oregon school-wide mask mandate. This needs to be public information and accessible immediately. Dr. Dean Schleidinger communicated to the legislators during a conference call on Monday, August 2nd, that there is no specific evidence that schools or children ages K to 12 are responsible for community spread. And yet, the mask mandate is still being instituted. The data needs to be made available to the public, not just to legislators or administrators, so that we are all operating with transparency and understanding of the science and the data. I'm sure the request for this information will be of no surprise. We have asked for this data before. Since the decision is data-driven, it must be readily available to retrieve. I will be asking for this information tonight. Can you tell us if you will be sharing this information tonight? Yes, no? Okay. Can we also ensure that you will post it on the district's website by the end of the week? Every community member needs to be able to evaluate this. We intend to pursue this information until it is made public. Thank you for listening and acting for our community. On a side note, I read Dr. Cook's letter posted on the website today. It was very warm and sincere. One sentence stated, every kid gets eye contact. Every kid gets a smile. And every kid's heart hears their name used in a positive way. Sadly, there are no smiles in our schools. Right. No staff, no students, no one sees a smile. Heartbreaking, isn't it? These are our children. They deserve better. Parents should have a choice.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Chance. I've had 3 teenagers in our schools the last year and a half, and I'm a high school teacher with Bend Pines Schools. I want to say to the board and Dr. Cook, that I do support the mask policy this year because I hear that healthy, asymptomatic kids won't be sent home to quarantine if they're wearing their masks. I was dismayed this last spring when the schools were used for multiple vaccination clinics, but also that PCR testing was done on our grounds. My concerns are related to vaccine injuries, informed consent, that they were fairly casual, like a Red Cross blood clinic, the long-term effects that we don't know yet, focusing on certain students, and that teens, my students, simply went through the motions because of university mandates, and they thought they'd be maskless this fall. But I'm willing. I'm currently a summer school teacher. I volunteered to go in for limited in-person instruction because I think students are more important than this virus. My last statement is that our natural immunity, their natural immunity, is a natural right.
Christina Emerson. I'm sorry, Matt, could you reset the timer?
Hi, my name is Christina Emerson. I don't have a prepared letter. This is my first parent-teacher anything.
Just lean in.
Sorry. My name is Christina Emerson. This is my first time, so please forgive me. I don't have a prepared letter. I wrote some notes at work today, and here I am. When I was looking for information on this, one thing that struck out to me was who voted this past time. The election had a 31% turnout, and I don't think that is a representation of our county, but that's also on us to vote. So people need to vote, and then people need to listen. On top of that, I want to know what happened to the restrictions that we had before. There were certain counties that were allowed to open because they had fewer numbers, the more rural counties versus Portland. Are we going to have that again? Why not if we are not? As for vaccines and kiddos, if a parent is vaccinated and their kids are not, that is their choice. If a parent doesn't want to vaccinate, that is their choice. They can choose to keep their kids at home or have their kids come to school and wear masks. At this time, I know the mask rules are changing. I'm a state employee. It's mandated at work that we wear masks at work. I don't fully understand the statistics behind this or the numbers, and I would like to see hard data, not percentages, but numbers to show the reason behind these decisions. I think that's all I have.
We are at the end of the 10 minutes on agenda item 7. I encourage anyone else who signed up to speak to email the board at school-board@bend.k12.or.us, and our information is on the board page as well. We will now move into the non-agendized subjects, and we will have 10 minutes. And the first person is Louise Harris.
People who are not governed by God will be ruled by tyrants. William Penn, English Quaker, 1644 to 1718. Due to the Marxism being forced upon innocent school children, this warning goes out to all those that are involved in destroying the minds, souls, and hearts of the innocent. Teachers' unions, PTAs, school boards, and some teachers seem to have a lot of dislike for children. They feed off of and promote Marxism, critical race theory, and sexualization of young children. And these teachings are rampant in our public schools. Crimes now being perpetrated on innocent children just a few years ago would have been considered an abomination and a felony. It's been said no one harms America's youth as much as teachers' unions, PTAs, and school boards, not even drug addicts. To all those in public school system that are involved in the above crimes against the innocent, know this: you can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow road. The highway to hell is always wide.
I'm sorry, but any condemnation that's putting the board towards hell is a profanity and will not be allowed.
First Amendment.
Witchcraft is the fastest growing religion in America.
She's right about
No
that.
wonder our public schools have been given over to Luciferian teachers.
I'm sorry, but you need to stop. You will be removed if you continue to threaten the board in that way.
What's her name?
Where are the
Findings. All the cops.
Next is Brandon Merritt.
Good evening. My name is Brandon Merritt. Full disclosure, my wife had asked me if I could fly under the radar tonight. So naturally, I went to my closet, pulled out my nicest suit, and found the largest hat I own. Leadership. Coming from a background in the corporate world, I saw a common trend. The highest performing individuals were regularly promoted to leadership roles. These new leaders would continue to thrive as everyone else around them would fail. These same leaders would then be put back into performance roles, and then when asked by their peers why this happened, their response was always the same: I never really wanted the responsibility in the first place. You all, however, did want to be in a leadership role. You were elected and swore an oath to office. For some of the new school board members, it was only a few short hours after that they broke that oath to office while attending a social gathering, or as other members called it, a celebration. In a single photo that was taken at this time, this social gathering, we identified all board members, a city council member, and subject matter expert, Dr. Susan Mendez.
I'm sorry, but we are not going to name people.
No, we didn't.
You just did
Dr.
Susan
Susan,
Mendez.
yes. He spearheaded the letter.
And
whose testimony was earlier read aloud at the public meeting. There is not a single professional setting or ethical circle where one would find these actions to be acceptable. For any board member to suggest that this information be brought to light for political reason is offensive and insulting. I speak to you today as a proud father of two daughters, one back there. We teach our children to be honest when they make
I'm sorry, but if you continue,
they take ownership, they learn from those mistakes, they are
This meeting is adjourned.
By example tonight,
say to I think they will.
5-minute break or so.
They just adjourned this meeting.
Absolutely no leadership whatsoever. They have no vision. They have no foresight. They got nothing.
Recall! Yeah, that was fantastic. 12 minutes they gave us.
Get out of here.